right, guys. Happy Asynchronous Wednesday. So I'm going to go through the notes section for this aim. And this aim is really all about the Catholic Church. So the Middle Ages, we said, can be classified as Dark Age, Golden Age, or Age of Faith. And this is going to be a lot of that Age of Faith stuff. So make sure you guys are staying on top of your good, bad, and holy charts, because a lot of the stuff that we talk about here today is going to go in the holy column, right? So be on the lookout for that. So the Catholic Church is the most powerful organization in all of Europe throughout the Middle Ages, and today we're going to really talk about why. So there's a couple of different things that really make the Catholic Church really, really powerful. We already know that during the Middle Ages, wealth is directly tied to land ownership, and the church is the wealthiest landowner. And more on that in a second. But there's other things that make them very powerful also. It is the general belief of all of the people of Europe that the church and the people that work in the church, priests, deacons, nuns, these kind of people, the clergy, they are the ones who have the power to decide whether or not you go to heaven and hell. So I think the common conception of Catholics now, it is not the people on earth that decide if you go to heaven or hell, but it is actually God who decides if you go to heaven or hell. But regardless, the people of Europe believed that it was the people that worked within the church that decided their fate. So that, that belief gave them power, because people deferred to the church, because the church has this power to grant you passage. They're like the ultimate gatekeeper, right? So that's kind of the deal. The other thing that makes them really, really powerful is that pretty much all of Europe, at least Western Europe, is Catholic, okay? So there's a lot of kingdoms and a lot of little countries, and everyone has a certain specific political loyalty. Some people are loyal to this kingdom or that kingdom or the other kingdom, or this country. But the one thing that they all have in common is that they're Catholic. So the Catholic population is all of Western Europe, but the population of any given kingdom is just confined to their little kingdom. So if a kingdom were to raise an army, it would be of a certain size. But if the Catholic religion were to raise an army, it would be super, super, super huge, many, many times greater than the army that could be raised by one individual kingdom. So while kingdoms are very small, the Catholic population is really, really big. So this lends them, power. This makes religion more powerful than state governments. Okay, and it's important to understand that. So they're wealthy for a number of reasons. As we mentioned, the Catholic Church, even today this is true, is still the world's wealthiest landowner. So we know that during the Middle Ages, land ownership equates to power and wealth. It's not about how much money you have in the bank. It's about how much land you own. So a lot of these people, this kind of works in conjunction with the idea that the church decides whether or not you go to heaven or hell. So a lot of people in their dying moments or in their last days, a lot of landowners leave a lot of land to the church to try to curry favor with church officials, make sure they end up going to heaven. So this kind of increases the amount of land that they own dramatically, and it kind of, again, gives the church that power. That's a big deal. Also, the church tries to tell people, hey, you should be giving a certain percentage of your wealth to the church. The church says 10%. So, this is an incredible amount of money. 1/10 of your salary should go to the church. So if we start doing some math here, if I make $52,000 a year and I'm supposed to give 10% of my salary, we're choosing these numbers to make the math easy, and I'm supposed to give 10% of my salary to the church, and I go to church once a week, so there's 52 weeks in a year, I'm supposed to give, a lot of money, over the course of the whole year. That's insane, a crazy amount of money. No one's giving that much money. So, that's insane. But again, people want to go to heaven, right? So you better do it. And the last thing that makes the church really, really super powerful is that they're really the only ones who could read and write. And this maybe is the most power of all. If you control information, you control a lot of things. So, and they're also the center of education and learning. So the only things that people know and the only things that people learn are the things that the church wants people to know and learn. So the church has this unique opportunity to kind of sculpt society as they see fit. This lends them an incredible amount of power again. Part of this is because if I'm a ruler of a kingdom and you're the ruler of another kingdom and I want to communicate with you, I need to bring my church into the picture. And I just say, okay, church, I need you to write me a letter to the other ruler. Dear ruler, blankety blank, blank, blank. And then I send the letter over to you and then it gets to you. And you can't read the letter either. So you have to go and get your church people and say, church people, I got this letter. I need you to read it for me. And the church people will interpret it and then give you the information, right? Well, this allows the church to control the flow of information. And I think it's not hard to kind of imagine what kind of nefarious activities could be perpetrated through the control of information. And all of these things kind of lend incredible power to the church. So what you're going to do today is you're going to check out a document about the power of the Catholic Church and answer the questions that go with it. Make sure you submit or turn in when you're done. Make sure you do it by 11:59 so that you're counted as present for today. So I do have office hours, so if anyone has questions or needs help, you can reach me during office hours or write me an email. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your asynchronous Wednesday, and we'll see you guys back here again on Thursday.